judge? Who am I to deny love? Who am I to try and pick your world apart? But I refuse to be deceived by imposters and the thieves that attempt to gain an entrance in my heart. No, they won't take this ground. Their words won't leave me bound. No, I won't be moved. My softly sound. Soon they'll find out who am I. Maybe there's more than me. Maybe there's more that lies beneath. Maybe even my dreams have been deceived. Maybe I can learn to love without fear of being judged, without fear of all the world rejecting me. Yeah, I'm taking this round. No, my words will not fall down. I can see my future breaking through these clouds. Yeah, I'm finding out who am I. Take me as a fool, 'cause I view life different than you. But hold your tongue, don't let it run off with illusions in my path. Yeah, they try to hold me back, but they can't see it, they won't see it, no, telling me to turn around, 'cause I can't take these giants down. But who
are live. What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday night. We got the fellas in the room, in the building. We're going to talk about something that's going on in more ways than one, something called the Great Reset. You're watching Young Lion TV.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and stop fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding. Young lion.
Yeah, you are watching Young Lion TV. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat right now. Emma already commented. He said, "Who am I? Respect and much love." What's up, Emma? What's going on? Shout out to everybody who's in there. Melanie watching right now. Anybody who's in the chat right now, please just hit the share button and share this video, because there's been a lot of, throttling of our stream lately. It's not been getting out to people. People haven't seen it come up in their feeds and stuff like that. Even with us, it's been hard for us to share it.
Yeah.
We've noticed that, it's been we try to share it and it doesn't work. So try to share the video and let people know, there's certain ideas and certain things that are trying to be censored at this time. And we just want to keep speaking the things that we've seen, the things that God shows us, and the things that, are truth. But we wanted to do a song, right? You want to do it now? You want to
Yeah, we can do it now.
get into a little bit? All right. We forgot to pray again.
Do it now. Yeah, well, let's set the atmosphere with the song.
Okay.
So, Father, we thank you for what you're going to do on the show.
Praise you,
Block all
Jesus.
interference right now. And what is this song we're doing? In Jesus' name, what is this song called?
In Your Eyes.
In Your Eyes. So we thank you that it's in your eyes that we're able to see. It's in your eyes that we're able to believe. It's standing in front of you where we see who we truly are. It's standing in front of you where we see our true reflection. And where everything that we thought was a fear, where everything we thought was an anxiety, a hindrance, a trouble, a struggle, it all fades away in your eyes. Yeah. And it's all about this one word to cast out all fear. It's all about love. I don't like feel this pain. Oh, love. It's all about love. So when I think about your love, it's all about love, love, love. Oh, love. I get so lost sometimes. Days pass and this emptiness fills my heart. I get so tired. Yeah, I get so tired. I get so tired. I get so tired. So we're gonna. When I want to run away, I travel in my car. But whichever way I go, I come back
place you are. Yeah. Then all my instincts, they return, and the grand facade, oh, so soon will burn. Without a noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside. Yeah, oh, hey. In your eyes, the light, the heat, I am complete. I see the doorway, there's 1,000 churches. The resolution for my fruitless searching. Oh, I see the light and the heat. Oh, I wanna be that complete. I wanna touch you like the heat I see in your eyes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's all about love, yeah. It's all about your love in me. It's all about how I see your love coming over me. Oh, love. I don't like to feel so much pain, so much wasted, and these moments keep slipping away. I get so tired, working so hard for our survival. Yeah, I wait till the time with you that keeps me awake and alive. But oh, yeah, then all my instincts, yeah, they return, and the grand facade, oh, so soon will burn. Without a noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside. Yeah, oh, hey. In your eyes, yeah, in your eyes, the light, the heat, oh, I am complete. I see the doorway, there's 1,000 churches. The resolution of all my fruitless searches. Hey, I see the light and the heat. Oh, I wanna be that complete. I wanna touch you like the heat I see in your eyes. Whoa, in your eyes, yeah, in your eyes, yeah, in your eyes. Accepting all I've done and said, I'm able to stop and stare again. Stare into your eyes. Oh, I remember who I really am. Accepting all the wrong I've done. Oh, I lay it all on the ground for you. Dying in myself, you raise me up in your eyes. Raise me up in your eyes. Higher, higher,
your eyes, your eyes, your eyes, in 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 your eyes, accepting all I've done and said, I will stop and stare again till there's nothing left. Oh, I will hear your silent call. I will touch these tender walls till I'm home again. In your eyes, 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 in your eyes.
All right.
That was a freestyle. In your eyes.
That was a very, very freestyle.
It's all good.
the whole beginning. The whole first.
Hey man,
It set it up.
I was feeling the spirit, and it
Yeah.
just took me to another place,
to the place.
and then I didn't know how to get back.
I come back to the place you are.
You got there though. You got
Yeah.
there.
All right. So, first of all, happy birthday to Jake. Jake just celebrated
birthday
your
to
41st birthday.
41, yeah.
41 2 days ago. So shout out everybody. Wish Jake a happy birthday in the chat. And yeah, how do you feel, man? How do you feel?
I feel good.
Kyle always
What are you laughing at, Kyle?
Because Jake's response is always
I
like,
wasn't convinced with his answer.
I mean, it's not like when anybody ever says, "How do you feel?" There's a lot to that. We just normally just say, "Oh, I'm good,"
we
but,
give the courteous answer.
But there's a lot to that, you
Yeah.
know. In the midst of all that, how do you feel? You know,
Right.
so that's what I'm kind of truthful.
Right.
Answers. Like, I'm good, but there's a lot going on. So
Yeah.
you know,
It's very turbulent times right now.
yeah, and it's all for the good, though.
Mhm.
You know, but it doesn't mean that you don't go through it and you don't have to struggle
Yeah.
a little bit. So that's all.
Right. So we got Stan with us today.
What up?
Back for another episode. What's going on, man? How you been?
Good.
Good?
Can't complain.
Yeah. How's everything been? I haven't seen you in a little bit, man.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
You know, working out. Again.
How's that been at the gym?
Yeah.
Yeah. What you pushing up now? I know you.
Yeah.
You want-
We're going to talk about that next month.
Come on,
Wait
man,
till-
be vulnerable.
You got to build back better, right?
Right.
Got to
Building
build
back,
my muscles back better.
you building back normal. That's what you're trying to do right now, right? Confess and you shall be set free. It's all right, man. We ain't gonna laugh at you.
Yeah.
205, little 205 something.
Nah, he more than that.
185, 185. Nah, I'm at, I haven't maxed out yet, but I'm getting 225 for at least 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was up to I don't know, before it was like 15. Almost 20. Ew.
Jen said, "Hey Stan," and my mom said, "Hi Stan."
What up?
Molly
Hey,
said,
Jen.
"Happy birthday, cuz,"
Thank you.
with
Thank you.
heart emojis.
And so, of course, I got Moan with me. You heard him and Jake
What up?
singing Jake's birthday with the Marvel shirt.
That's a dope shirt, by the way.
I like that shirt, man.
I'm checking it out.
birthday
on the
gift.
feed.
That was a birthday gift?
Yeah, from Fabian.
Okay.
Yeah, but
That is,
Marvel, we
that's the
are
Avengers,
the Marvel children.
right?
Oh.
The Avengers.
Cap.
What do
They
you mean
got
the Marvel
Cap.
children?
I mean, Marvel children, children of wonder. Like that's what God calls us.
Oh, okay.
You know.
I knew you meant something by that.
Yeah.
We are the Marvel children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's we should be. That's what we should be, right?
Right.
People should be marveling at what God does to us, but
Right.
that's what we're not.
We should be superheroes.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And of course, we got John. I swear I tried to convince him you could just leave that unmuted just to make it easier for you guys. Yeah, and give me a little more volume on that. On this one? Yeah, that one doesn't have a compressor on it, so you could just boost it up a little bit. Yeah. So I was trying to convince him to get on camera today.
I can still put it on there if you want me to do it.
Put it on there now?
I can edit it.
We can have you and Kyle on camera. Oh, and we got Kyle with us today, just randomly.
What up?
Damn,
Loud as heck.
So they're sharing a microphone, right? That is a clear difference.
I'm soft spoken and
Between-
he's loud as shit.
That's the clear difference
Wow, that hurt my ears.
between Kyle and John talking on a mic.
Yeah.
Kyle's got that natural broadcast mic. Hello, everyone. It's Kyle Mack here, talking to you live.
I don't talk like that.
And then he comes on and says it
You
exactly
talk like that.
Exactly how I don't talk like that.
I was being facetious.
Okay. But yeah, man, we got to get you on camera. You know?
Yeah, John's
About
John.
that time.
Next week.
Hook it up, John.
Eat the mic, John.
Okay.
He doesn't understand mic technique.
I'm not built for this.
But he's
But you can be built for that.
build you up. You know what I'm saying? Build back better.
Whatever you
Build
say.
back better.
Me over here not paying attention to the cameras.
That's the slogan for the now.
Yeah,
Build-
that's the slogan.
build back
That's the
better.
slogan now that they're.
That's the,
Trudeau.
Jen said it's a dope shirt for sure. All
Thank you, Jen.
right, so how's everybody feeling as far as
This
like
shirt's better though.
that is a dope
it is
shirt.
better.
Matter of fact, yeah, if you want to
Come on
get you
now.
one of these,
Come on now, this is my
Can't.
favorite shirt.
the TV is throwing me
$15.
off.
Got a
If you
little
want-
Jakey.
If you want to get one of those, you can go to our website jatan.com, and all of our merch is listed there.
I'll take the.
Oh, Stan's got one too. Then Stan's got the
okay.
20th anniversary shirt on right there.
You still sell these or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Oh,
still
yeah.
got those
I
for
don't
sale.
know sure.
Yeah,
Oh yes.
me and Simone collabed on that.
Yeah.
yeah, that was a Jake and Moon collabo. That was a cool little
Yeah.
the way we did that with the camera setting the shutter speed really slow,
Yeah.
and then just had him like playing right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Taking a picture.
yeah.
So cute.
I know.
Yeah, it is.
But no, what was I saying? Oh,
Oh.
everything right now with the way it stands, right? So we got this idea that everything is settled. Like with the media, when you watch the news, it's funny because you're watching like different realities happening simultaneously. Where there's people that are like, it's not over, and then there's people like, already planning out Biden's transition team and like he's gonna appoint. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
So
yeah, they have to do that because it's like, and of course COVID.
right now, COVID's ramping back up. You
Yeah.
know, there's a lot more testing going on. There's
Is
a
it
lot
really ramping back up though?
Well, I'm saying that's the narrative. The narrative is it's ramping back up, and we got.
I know you seen the Elon Musk thing.
dude. I got it right here.
Elon
I was
Musk
gonna
Hold
say.
on.
took
There's a lot more overreach.
four
Going on.
I'll get there. Where is it? Where's the Elon Musk?
Did you see?
what else?
Hold on now. Hold on. I think I got it in here. Hold on. Oh, there it is.
All right. Is Erica Badu in that one too?
Yeah, Erica Badu
Erykah
also.
Badu.
swab both of her nostrils.
So this is the Eli. Can you wait till I have it up before you
Give
show
me the
everyone
signal,
my
man.
text messages? This guy is horrible.
Sky, man. Sky, man.
Look, it's a message from Freddie Jackson right there. So
You working on his song?
no, I actually sent him a version of his song, so that's what he's responding to. But this was Elon Musk's tweet from I think yesterday. Something extremely bogus is going on. Was tested for COVID 4 times today. 2 tests came back negative. 2 came back positive. Same machine, same test, same nurse. Rapid antigen test from BD. And then, the other story was Erica Badu got both of her nostrils swabbed. One was negative, one was positive.
And the doc went with the positive.
Yeah, right.
Of
right.
course.
Of course.
Of course.
But that's also another thing that they're saying is like some of these tests don't. So you'll get false positives and false negatives, but if it's a false positive, just go with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what they're telling you to do. You know,
Yeah.
because, but again, they're not talking about the death rate. You know, they're just talking about cases.
Yep.
Because the more the cases go up, they can use it. Like Gretchen Whitmer right now is ignoring the Supreme Court of Michigan. They said,
Oh yeah.
you can't. It was
Unconstitutional.
unconstitutional to lock down the way she did.
Yeah.
Republicans are trying to impeach her.
Yeah, they're talking about having her impeached now,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Which is actually, plausible in terms of what she's doing.
What she's doing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Not
grounds
not
for
like
it.
the Trump impeachment.
What do you mean, man? That phone call?
And then there's this that I saw where Fauci was being interviewed, and this was the quote that was going around. He says, "The U.S. has an independent spirit, but now it's time to do what you're told."
Ooh.
So he's saying like the fact that we're so independent in this country is why the virus is not gone yet, which is, even factually ridiculous.
Is it gone anywhere?
That's what I'm saying. Like even in the
Even
countries, like,
Sweden's been doing good forever, but now they're
It's
actually
coming back.
yeah.
spiking.
But I mean,
Canada's
more
having a
than
spike
they-
too.
the countries that had the strictest lockdowns where people couldn't do anything,
Yeah,
Peru,
Peru was-
Argentina, like they're still
They're
the worst.
Yeah, Peru is actually number one.
Yeah,
and they had the hardest lockdown.
Yeah, so it's all up in the air of like, what was it actually worth it? Does it actually work to do it the way we did it? Like, or is this something that people are just gonna have to get? Like, and the reason why it was so deadly at first is because it killed off a lot of people that were in the nursing homes, a lot of people that were elderly. That was remember the average death was above 84 years old.
Right.
So it's like they're the most vulnerable to it. And now it's all young people spreading it. That's why the cases are getting so high.
Yeah.
So high. It's because it's mostly young people spreading it, because these were the people that were locked away for all summer or, supposedly.
Yeah.
And now that people are venturing back out, it's spreading more. It's a contagious thing, but it's still got a 99.8% survival
Recovery,
rate. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like we don't know what's going on.
They pumped the fear so much initially.
Yeah.
It's easier now to just say, "Oh, cases. There's a rise in cases. We need to do X and Y."
And they've realized how they can get a stranglehold of us, like control wise, to keep everybody in a state of just do what you're told. Like he said, do what you're told. You know what I mean? And a lot of this is the reason why I titled it The Great Reset, is because a lot of this is being talked about from the World Economic Forum. And we talked about this weeks ago, showing how like on their page, remember I showed y'all like they actually have a thing written on their page about the Great Reset. So a couple of days ago, I think it might have been yesterday, Justin Trudeau was on Twitter and he did a little, well, it wasn't on, people put it on Twitter, but it was on TV in Canada.
Shout out to Paul Horner.
Paul Horner, what's up? Paul Horner, I think, is the one that brought up the World Economic Forum thing to us originally, and we were like, what is that? And then we went and looked it
Yeah, I
up.
think so.
But let's check this out.
Philadelphia is getting
has
locked
provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic.
Take it back from the beginning.
Building back better means getting support to the most vulnerable while maintaining our momentum on reaching the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the SDGs. Canada is here to listen and to help. This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic efforts to reimagine economic systems that actually address global challenges like extreme poverty, inequality, and climate change.
Right. So,
Can I say something?
yes.
This is the Canadian government, right?
Yes. He's the Prime Minister of Canada.
Why the hell does the video look so bad to me? Canada don't have money.
I think it has to do with the effect. It's kind of like the Joe Biden in the basement. It's about taking it back to the bare minimal.
So it's done on purpose.
I think
because
so,
it looks
yeah.
bad, yo. It's not as blurry.
Yeah.
All right. Now I want to bring this up because the first thing he said was, we have an opportunity to build back better. Now, take a look at this right here. Someone posted this up on Twitter, how like this has been a term. Remember how we talked about in the beginning of this pandemic, well, we were on the podcast and we were like, yo, I'm always weary when they start inserting these phrases into the psyche of people.
Yeah.
And it was social distancing. To slow the spread. All of these terms that like we just now psychologically just take as normal, you know what I mean? And it's to continue to push us into an idea. And Build Back Better is being used by all of these organizations, all of these leaders around the world in their slogans. And what is Joe Biden's campaign?
Build
Build back.
Exactly. So it's no secret like what the agenda is. And on the World Economic Forum's website, they have a whole section called the Great Reset.
It used to be called Agenda 201 or something.
Agenda
right?
2030. Well, it was Agenda
Agenda
2021 first, but then they moved it to Agenda 2030 because 2020 is already here. So, but the idea is to move everybody into a one world government where we basically don't own property, don't own anything. Like everything is pretty much kind of like how Uber works or like DoorDash. Like everything is rented or provided, you know what I mean, for you by the government based off of a fee that you pay. So this is their idea of what would be like a more utopian society. People don't own cars, so emissions go down. People won't own big houses, things like that.
So, and basically to have a better society, you give up more of your rights. To have a
Exactly.
better society, to have a better environment, and better based off of their standard of what better is.
Yeah. Bigger government.
You have
One world government.
A new world order.
Let me show y'all this right here because this kind of goes into it. And the World Economic Forum tweeted this video out. This has been since deleted off of their website because people were tweeting about it. You see this person right here who tweeted it, said, "You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. You'll have to accept 1 billion climate refugees. There will be a global carbon tax and fossil fuels will be gone. Western values will be tested." This is all the things that they're saying, that they say, that Western values will reach their limits. What does that even mean?
Right.
Western values. What does that mean?
I have
it
no
means
idea.
biblical values.
Right.
That means
That's
Right.
thinking.
that's
Right.
what Western values really
Right.
are. It's
And
about-
capitalism.
Yeah.
That's what it
And-
really means.
And what is that? That's about a free market, you
Right.
know? It's about true freedom. Like that's like people don't understand that capitalism works best, and government works. This country was built off of power towards the people, right? So it's about giving the power back to the people, but that only works if you're responsible for the power that you have.
Right.
And what you're seeing is that people are being programmed into giving up their power
Right.
on purpose, you know.
They're not even, they're being programmed into begging for their power to be given
Right.
because it gives them this idea of an easier life.
Yeah, because they look and say, well, what we're doing isn't working.
Right.
And it's true, but it's not complete because it's not working because people haven't been responsible.
Exactly. Paul Horner said Philadelphia is getting locked down again starting this Friday through January 1st. Trudeau is a punk. Yeah, I mean, I just got a notification. My kids can no longer do hybrid schooling until January 4th. They have to go full remote now.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
No, we just started yesterday.
And then they're going to tell them
They're
you can't.
about to.
But let's watch this video.
He's gonna be mad.
Yeah. That's not,
8 predictions for the world in 2030. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
Justin Trudeau's son.
Whatever you want, you'll rent and it'll be delivered by drone. The U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. And a handful of countries will dominate. You won't die waiting for an organ donor. Oh, that sounds great. Because they'll be printed. They'll be 3D printed for you. You'll eat much less meat.
I love meat.
Occasional treat, not a staple for the good of the environment and our health. 1 billion people will be displaced by climate change.
Displaced.
We will have to do a better job at welcoming and integrating refugees. Polluters will have to pay and emit carbon dioxide. There will be a global price on carbon dioxide. Now, the imagery that they put up behind that is all propaganda. It's all misleading. So when it says polluters will have to pay a carbon tax, they show you the stacks. Those corporations ain't paying shit. It's going to be you.
yeah.
It's going to be you paying a carbon tax every time you plug something into an outlet. They're going to monitor that.
Yeah,
And they're going to
take it
tell you
digitally.
that this is what you owe.
And
You really think these corporations don't pay taxes as it
Yeah,
is.
exactly. That's what people don't understand, that they push the tax right onto you.
Right.
They don't pay nothing.
There will be a global price on carbon. This will help make fossil fuels history. To find alien life. Western values will have been tested to the breaking point. Checks and balances that underpin our democracies must not be forgotten.
If you see the Western values thing, the McDonald's is in the back.
Yeah, right.
Don't you value this?
But this video was on the World Economic Forum's website, and it's telling you like this is their idea for the Agenda 2030 that they want to push. They want to basically dismantle capitalist systems, and in the Great Reset, it talks about how this is the opportunity to move into a cryptocurrency, cashless system.
Society.
Yeah. So this is all being planned. And the article that I couldn't find from 10 years ago, someone wrote an article that has just got deleted yesterday because people started tweeting it, and now I can't find it. Which was criticizing the World Health Organization, which all of these global organizations that are supposed to oversee the entire world are all pushing the same ideology, this one world system. Like that's what they're set up for. The World Health Organization, we know their shadiness through this whole pandemic of coronavirus, how they held information, they lied for China, they lied about certain things. They tell us to do one thing, then they tell us to do another thing. And who they're funded by, we know who that is. The person that if you mention their name, you're a tinfoil hat wearer. And Bill Gates. That one too. But
You get cut off by Fox News.
Right. But so there was an article talking about how during the swine flu epidemic, which was 2009 or something, was under Obama, that they were falsifying information and trying to make it sound more dire than it was back then. They were trying to. That's why it was Agenda 2021 at first. They were trying to instate what has happened now with the coronavirus back then, but they couldn't get people to get on board because the death rate was so low. It was like astronomically low, and then they were still like hyping it up. but they couldn't get the news behind them then. They couldn't get all the media behind them at the time. So there was an article completely criticizing them and what their real agenda is and how they're basically lying to the public about the swine flu, and that they've done it before with the what was the other one? Spanish flu. Yeah, how they've been doing this. Like the World Health Organization has been doing this. And then, so this article is from 10 years ago. It's been on that site for whatever, I forget which news outlet it was, but it's been on that site this whole time. Now, all of a sudden, people found it and started tweeting it like, oh, look, they were saying this back then. It's deleted now. You know what I mean? You can still find it if you go on the Wayback Machine or one of those archive things. I can't remember which one it was. If I can remember it, I'll find it and send it to y'all. But it's just funny that we're seeing how this pandemic, even the fact that it's labeled a pandemic, like a lot of people have, a lot of scientists have said that it doesn't even really qualify as a pandemic anymore, but it's being used because it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to start this great reset, but it was funny because when I was looking all this up, I was thinking like, yeah, it is an opportunity to reset in the right way though, and reset with all of the programming, all of the BS that we're seeing. This is waking a lot of people up, and it's causing a lot of people to see like, wait, this ain't adding up. Like it's so blatant right now. It's so blatant, and people being so like brainwashed into yelling at anyone that doesn't have a mask on. You know what I mean? Like just seeing the dynamic of how this is going down. I think a lot of people are being woken up to like, wait, is this what they're saying it is? Like,
yeah. From my experience, most people don't care if you have a mask on or not.
Yeah. I've seen videos of Karens snapping on people for not wearing it.
Yeah. But I haven't seen it in real life though.
Yeah.
But I know people are like that though.
Yeah. They'll look at you funny, but they won't say anything.
So on the website, it says there's an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. To improve the state of the World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset Initiative. And the opportunity, as we enter a unique window of opportunity to shape the recovery, this initiative will offer insights to help inform all those determining the future state of the global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, the nature of business models and management of a global commons, drawing from the vision and vast expertise of the leaders engaged across the forum's communities. The Great Reset Initiative has a set of dimensions to build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being. And the way they word that, they always word it in a way where it's like, we're trying to help humanity. But it's funny because all the people that seem to be behind this stuff is always the ones that are just like causing trouble all
The
the
worst
time.
ones.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Being kicked out of countries and all that.
Yeah.
Kyle, can you do me a favor, Kyle? Can you check that camera and do you know how to zoom in? Okay, never mind.
Why?
Because it's out of focus, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think we ever focused
It was
that one.
annoying.
It was bothering you. You ain't even paying attention to nothing we say.
No, I'm listening, but I'm looking at the camera like.
I'm not gonna mess with it.
Anyway,
John can do it. Just put it on the wide, John.
They acting like they care about, everybody, but
Yeah, I mean,
all these businesses, like California's locking down again. PA's about to lock down,
Right.
and Murphy always follows suit with PA.
Yeah,
So like,
but I don't know.
yeah,
PA might not
fully
be able
locked down.
to because I know their Supreme Court
Yeah,
also
ruled.
ruled it unconstitutional.
And against Wolf.
Yeah, so
Or,
there might be. I don't know. There might be some pushback from the courts on what they're trying to do now. I don't know. It could be. It's possible.
okay, all right, maybe it's just the
Jake can't focus. He's out of focus.
Yeah, but these small businesses, man, restaurants and stuff like that, how do you expect them to survive, man?
Dude, I was talking to Dave about this. I was like, yo, do you realize that this has been the biggest distribution of wealth from the middle, lower class to the upper class ever in the history of this country? Like the way that no one could go to work. No one could open their business, but all of the super, super rich corporations, stocks went through the roof because they were making all the money.
Yeah.
Those are the only places you could go. This is the first time that transfer of wealth has happened in that way, where it's like all of the wealth went to the mega rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's by design. It's by design, man.
It is. Because I've seen, from the beginning of the pandemic, CVS has been open the whole time.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
But like I've seen mom and pops drugstores, they weren't open.
Right.
Yeah,
they couldn't afford to be.
So it's like, the corporations have been making money off of this since the beginning.
Yeah. Never stop.
Walmart don't close.
Walmart don't close. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Amazon just went through the roof.
Yeah.
And what did 2030 say? Everything you have will be delivered to you by drone. Who's working on that technology?
Amazon.
Bezos.
But it'll be rented.
Right.
So
you won't own anything, and you'll be happy about it. That's what it says. But again,
that's disaster waiting to happen, though. John's delivering.
But think about this again. Who does that sound good to? People that live in cities, people that live in densely populated areas where it's like, oh, I ain't gotta go out. I don't gotta go out in the hustle. I don't gotta go out in traffic. Like
I don't gotta go out to get COVID.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But someone living in the middle of Idaho where their next neighbor is 4 miles down the road, like they're like, what are you talking about? I need a car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the agenda is really to have nobody driving cars, especially in cities. I know they've been using Uber as like a test catalyst for that technology as well, like the driverless vehicle ride service thing, because then no one has a car. No one would need a car, and the ability to travel is like, isn't that, what were you going to say?
What's up?
I wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
So having people off the roads and driverless cars and stuff like that, how does that benefit? Because I might have missed that point.
How does it benefit what?
Benefit the people who are trying to make sure the people aren't driving cars and be on the roads and stuff.
How does it benefit them?
Yeah.
Because you can't go anywhere unless, first of all, like,
how does it benefit people who can't go anywhere, or how does it benefit the people who are telling us
not to go anywhere?
Yeah. How does not going anywhere benefit the people who are telling us not to go anywhere? That's my question.
Because then you can be easily tracked and traced, and everything can be controlled in a way where they know where everyone is at all times. You know what I mean? If you do get a ride somewhere, all that information is sent back, so they know. It's a way to monetize everything. Basically, it's like your whole life. Same way it is on Facebook. Like, you are the product on Facebook or on any of these social media platforms. You are the product, right? So you become that in real life too. If you don't own anything, you have no independence from the the corporate system.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Black Mirror?
Yes. You never watched Black Mirror?
Oh, I've watched a ton of it, yeah.
Okay. So the social credit score system, which they've already implemented in China, you never seen that that episode?
Is that the episode where the redhead lady was trying to get like stars and stuff?
Yeah.
To reach a social level,
right?
And the minute that she got like below a certain amount of stars, she was pushed away from all her friends and stuff.
But you didn't see the real significant part of that. It wasn't about your friends. She couldn't even get an apartment that she wanted because
It was almost like credit or something.
Right. So, and that's what China has already implemented this, where it's like if you speak out against the government, your social credit score goes down. Now you can't get a ticket to ride the train to work. Now you can't get a job. Now you can't get an apartment.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a way to implement
It's
a
a way-
more authoritarian system, a more authoritarian government.
It's a way to put you in shackles.
Right.
Sorry,
And you'll
bondage.
do it willingly.
And if you think about like, just think about it like this.
Paul Horner said it's open class warfare.
Yeah, and when you think about class has to do with status, right?
Right.
It has to do with culture, right? So in terms of culture, what is the driving force behind culture?
I don't understand your question.
What's the driving? The question is, what is the driving force? It has to do with. Okay, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
Please tell.
It has to do with what you believe in. It starts with your families, right? So, in terms of like when people come from other nations, right, they implement their culture here, but little by little it starts to fade through the freedoms of America.
Right.
But people are still upholding to their culture and they want to keep their culture.
But if you notice, as the generations progress, it totally dwindles away.
Right.
So, like generations down the road, you're just integrated into the American, culture.
America is the only country where you come here and it's not about nationality. It's not about any nationality. So when you come, but there is a culture, of course, but it's about coming together in culture for the good of the country in a way. So people come here for their own selfish reasons, right?
Right.
A lot of people come here from other families come here to get a better life, right? But they still hold on to their culture, their ideas, or I would say their principles. Okay? So principles, that's what moves culture. And if you look at a mother, right? Because mothers, a lot of times in families, especially like, I'm just giving examples like a Persian family comes,
Right.
the mother is the one who's a lot of times like, you have to do these things. They're more of the like,
Right.
they put the pressure on the children, right? Not to say that fathers don't do this too, but they care more about like who you marry, why you should marry this person or that person, or you have to marry within the culture because it's about upholding principles.
Nobody black allowed.
Sounds familiar.
It can be that way, but it's about keeping your principles that you've held on to.
I have a story about that later.
Okay.
So these principles might not necessarily be good.
Right.
Right. So the more, if your culture is being pushed by media, then they're and their agendas, and you're thinking, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that right there is right. We should care about our environment, but in the way you tell me to be
Right, right.
caring about the environment.
Right.
So then that
We
gets-
should want to wear masks and protect others,
Right.
even though every time we turn around, y'all are getting caught not doing it and not following the things.
Yeah.
you're telling us.
So there's a difference between being pressured in culture, but then that cultural pressure becoming a governmental pressure.
Can I ask you guys a question, all
Yeah.
of you collectively?
Yep.
Do you guys all live your lives scared?
No.
No,
No?
not
The
at all.
opposite.
No?
The
So
opposite.
I mean, because you...
Scared?
I mean, do you have... do you go throughout
We
your...
haven't quarantined this
your-
whole time.
Hold on. No, what I mean is, do you live your lives day to day with a mental peace, viewing the world the way that you guys do? I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I disagree with the way you guys view the world, but you also have a lot of theories and things that you believe in that would cause a lot of people to be afraid.
You spoke
about,
your mind about it on Freddie's podcast on Thursday.
That's not why I brought this up.
We're going to talk about that.
But I mean,
What exactly did he say, Jay?
I believe he said, I think Freddie was going on about like how people have shows. His show is just fun and light, and he likes to joke around because there's too many people that have shows that are serious and can be depressing, and he all about that. And I think Kyle said something like, yeah, that's Young Lions podcast.
Okay, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah,
it was
I
a
believe-
joke.
I believe that's what it was.
But I mean, but listen, I want to ask you this because every time I hang out with you guys during the recording of this show, I leave feeling very nervous for my life.
But you know why that is?
Why?
That's because you live a life that's totally oblivious to what's actually going on. And you should be, if that's how you're going to live your life, because you know why? When you live that way, you won't see it coming. You won't see it coming. They will be able to implement every single thing we're talking about, and you won't see it coming. Not only will you not see it coming, you'll ask for it because you'll think that it's bettering your life in some way.
Because they've already given you the solution.
So my question
You're
is,
in the matrix.
knowing what you guys know and feeling the way that you guys feel about what's happening around you, do you live your life with a mental level of peace or with nervousness of what's going on or what will happen, or what is perceived? to
Not
happen?
nervousness, because
That's my question.
you have faith in God.
One.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a peace, but it's not the peace. Oh, love peace. It's a fighting peace.
Right.
It's not it's about faith and not trusting in what you see. But you have to pay attention to what you see. It's kind of like if somebody is back in the olden days, they would have to have cities and keep watch on the cities to see who was attacking. Right? You had to have somebody at the wall to stand watch, keep watch. So
Not only in the olden days, let's go back to the meme of the lion in the cage and the lion in the wild, right? So the lion in the cage at the zoo gets all of its meals handed to him, gets all of its medical needs met, gets bathed, washed, doesn't have to worry about anything. But it's in a fucking cage, locked up. It's a sideshow for other people's amusement, for capital gains of someone else who owns the zoo. The lion in the wild has to always be on the hunt and always fight for his survival, but he's free. You see what I'm saying? So the idea that...
And not only that, it's not just about fighting for your survival, because eventually you come into an authoritative position where you have a lion den. You have
a pride.
You have a pride of lions, and they also keep
you
your
have a
territory.
community that looks out. We are the community that looks out for each other, so we don't have to live in fear like that. But what I was going to make the example of, like, starting there, but then someone like I was talking about, someone in the middle of Idaho somewhere, right? Say this is someone who has land that they tend to, and that they get most of their food from their garden. They have chickens, they have goats, they have things that they have to keep steward over to make sure that those animals don't die, because that's how they survive, right? So you could say, you could think like, man, I would never want to live that life, because you always have to watch out for coyotes and predators that could come and kill my animals. And then how am I going to survive? And then it's like, no, but that person has a certain sense of freedom that you don't get, because you give that all up for the conveniences that we get. You know what I mean?
When you're really, what's actually funny is that you actually are being stolen from by the coyotes and the wolves,
just in a different way.
But you just don't even realize it. Like, that's the thing. You're actually being stolen from,
because
you just don't know, because you're used to being stolen from, like the lion that's in the cage.
Right. And the idea of building a fence the proper way to keep the predators out and keeping steward over your land and protecting your animal is what grows you into a better human being in the long run. So it's not this idea of living in fear. It's this idea of living for your purpose, and then you become a better human because of that.
So if you, like, what he's saying, like, goes back to what we're talking about. What is a husband? A husband is a husbandman. A husbandman keeps the ground and keeps what they've been given, right? So it's about keeping and cultivating what you've been given. If you don't cultivate it, things are going to get in. So animals are going to get in. Weeds are going to get in.
Right.
Insect, like, you have to keep your ground.
Your house falls apart.
Your house falls apart. You got to keep your house. You got to keep you got to steward over what has been given to you. So that's another part of, like, being a husband or being a husbandman. It's about keeping, and in that you're cultivating something. You're cultivating a culture, right? And then you're creating culture. But when you don't do any of that, and when you're just given, you're really not even given to, because nothing, like what they're saying, nothing is yours. Right? So really, you don't have anything. You don't own anything.
So then what you really are is dependent. You're not...
Really, you're a slave, and you're just a commodity.
Right. But you become fully dependent on what the government says it's going to give you at that point, where it's like, if they decide that you can't get it anymore, you're screwed.
Because they own you. And that's the point. They own you. So you're actually not what you were created to be. Like, if you believe in God, you're not what you were created to be.
Even if you don't, like, look at countries like Venezuela. We showed on here a couple weeks ago, like, there's trash cans full of money in Venezuela right now because the money doesn't mean anything. It has no value. And money literally has no value. So, like, if you get to the point where you can give up so much of your freedom to the government, where they are regulating everything and distributing everything the way they see fit, eventually that system falls in on itself, and then people just use money for firewood, and then you can't
because money really doesn't have any value.
It doesn't.
The real value is the people.
The value is that we believe in the money's value.
The value is the people.
Right.
The value is in people, and they want to power over you. They want to rule over you so that they can use you, because if not, they don't have anything. If they don't have you, people don't have anything. That's why in the society we live in right now, what do? They try to manipulate you through marketing to get you to do what they want you to do, so that you can give up your power, give up your money, right? You give up your money, but it's really not about the money. It's about what you give up of yourself, right?
Like Facebook.
What you care about.
Yep.
They want you to stay on Facebook, keep clicking. So the algorithm will learn you.
Yep.
And then you're always...
Yeah. Because their idea, like I said, you're the commodity. So their idea is, their mission is to keep you on that app as long as humanly possible. So they design algorithms that are built in a way where you feel like, oh, this is interesting. But no, it's learning you and your habits so that you can keep coming back. And that's what they do.
Not just learning you, programming you. Also,
it's programming you at the same time. And that's the vicious cycle of what we're talking about. So when you start giving up all of your freedoms for these commodities where you don't own anything, and the government is only telling you when you can ride share here or there, to go back to what your original question was, you now become that commodity in real life, where it's like they can monetize every move you make. And at the same time, program every move you make and predict every move you make based off of the AI that they've been developing, and that we're all programming every time we touch something, every time we type into Google, every time we type, we're constantly programming this AI that is learning human beings better and better and better.
Or say anything now.
Yeah.
And what is it based off of? It's based off of your desire. It's based off of what you desire, and your money is attached to that.
Right.
So literally, that's how they quantitate everything, and they show you what you desire, and they put it into a mathematical formula and rule over you.
They show you your digital self.
Yeah.
Rachel, what's up, Rach? She said, like when I watch real info videos on YouTube and the ads change to, we have a psychic who will find you a husband. Yeah, because they have algorithms that say, oh, you're watching this, then our statistics show us that you are the type of person that
might like this,
or that might need a husband. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and that's what they do. And then the next thing you know, you're, in Walmart buying a flat screen TV that you don't even need because Facebook knew you would be there. You know what I mean?
Or the drone brings it to you because they took it right out of your account because they knew you wanted it.
But I mean, the key is truth, and you were created a certain way. And whether you believe it or not, like it's said, the Bible is what it is, and it tells you what's going to happen. Jesus said you're going to serve one or the other master. One was mammon, which has to do which is connected to money because it's connected to your desires, and then the other is God. One is gonna slave over you. You'll be a slave to it. It's gonna press you into the ground. It's gonna rule over you with a heavy fist, and that's what principles do. That's what principalities do. It's a pressure. You can feel it in your own family. It's a pressure that will pressure you to do something because that's the way they think is right.
Right.
So you're gonna get a heavy pressure put upon you, and you feel this weight, and that's why people are like, "Oh, I can't take this. I'm leaving. I don't want to deal with my family. They want to pressure me into thinking the way they do." Like, those are principles, but it's on a higher scale. And then when you total principality or principal rule is when the government takes control. That's communism. So then you have what?
No, I'm listening.
So, no, because he's like, huh? But
You know me by now. I make faces.
I'm just wondering what you're.
He's getting more than what he asked for.
But this is what it's about. Like, if you don't take control, you're gonna be controlled. You know, if you don't, you're gonna serve somebody, right? You can serve God or you can serve another master, but that master doesn't like you.
Yeah.
It actually can't stand you.
It actually wants to accuse you of everything that you're doing to serve it.
Yeah.
Rachel just commented again, maybe the devil or maybe the Lord, but you're going to have to serve somebody.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't get. Like, they think, oh, I'm just living my life. You're serving something. You're serving something.
And that's why people can put religion in a box. Oh, that's God. I'm going to put this over here. And then this is everything else. This is secular and this is religion, right? But really, it's just truth. And it's only there to make you feel comfortable with what you're doing over here.
Right.
But really, eventually, that's going to break out the box that you put it in, and it's going to cause problems for you. And that's what the devil does. He wants you to hope in him, hope in what he can give you, and then eventually he's going to accuse you of what you hoped in,
Right.
which was him. And that's how, and then he's going to rule over you. Like, this is what you wanted. You know how it says, be careful what you wish for, right?
Yeah.
Because your desires are entangled in that. That's the genie. It's the same thing. The jinn, the jinn.
What's the deal that they always talk about, where you think you're making a deal for something, but it never comes in the way you expect?
Mm-hmm.
The Faustian deal. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Where it's like you make a deal with yourself or the devil or whatever that, like, I'm going to live this way because I'm going to achieve this. But then when you get it, it ends up destroying you.
Yeah.
And you can see it. I mean, this is not something that we're just crazy weirdos talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest, like, look at most of the people that you know that have reached mega success, quote unquote, what we claim to be mega success in the world, especially through the industry that we work in, which is music.
Right.
And think about how they are, like, what they deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Internally,
a lot of people, there's a 27 club for a reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's people that make it past that, but they still, we've seen so many that are, like, totally just on depressants and antidepressants and, like, living a crazy life that you would never think, because it's presented in a certain way as something glorious to attain, but there's so much that you give up.
You brought up the whole music thing, and I don't mean to take it off the path of what you had scheduled for the show. But,
Go ahead, man.
But at your highest aspiration in your particular professional field, what do you as a collective aim to be? And where do you want to be at your highest aspiration?
That's
For Jatan.
I mean, even to put it, see, you already stifled it by saying professional field, because that's something that somebody made up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's something that was orchestrated.
You said in the business of music.
Right.
Right. So under that category, that's where my question lies.
right. But I think that even like what Jake is pointing to is we've learned just from doing it for so long that the way this structure of the music business has been established is something that is designed to destroy you. You know what I mean? So to even go into it saying, I want to get to the top of this music business, there's so many compromises you're going to have to make, and so many things
In the way it is now.
Right. There's so many deals that you're going to have to make to get to that point, that to even think like, well, I want to be, the biggest selling whatever, you're flawed already in your thinking.
And it's not like we want to put that on anybody, but at the same time, it is what it is. And so we don't live our lives that way. We're not living our lives in terms of that. We did, but we slowly came out of that way of thinking as you trust in God. And the thing is, when you start to do that, you look like a fool.
To most, yeah.
I mean, you look like
Yeah.
exactly, to most. You look like a fool. So now you have to allow God to justify you. You know, I was talking to Jamie about that earlier. Like, it's like the woman who's the justice, right? And she has the blinds over her eyes.
You ever
right?
see that the thing that they
That
have
holds the
at the
scales
court
and-
with the scale,
Yeah,
with
like
the blind? Yeah.
outside of Supreme Court.
So as like this blind woman, in terms of how we view it, is we're like that blind woman being led by our husband Jesus, in a sense. We're the bride of Christ. I don't know if you ever heard that with the church, but the bride of Christ. You have to blindly, faithfully be led in looking like a fool, to trust in him and not justify your own life to the point where you become justified by him. So like stuff we say now might not make sense until he justifies us, and then you see it, right? Then people see it. But just because something isn't a fact doesn't mean it's true. It's not true.
Right.
And that's my point. Sometimes you have to believe before you see it, because faith is what is not seen in the world. It might not have literally manifested in this world and become a thing yet. Do you get what I'm saying? Like in the music industry, that might not, what we're talking about might not be a structure that is formed, that is seen yet. So us trying to talk about it, it's like abstract.
Right.
So we're trying to explain something to you that's abstract, but it's being formed in us as we work in faith. You see? So that's what true artistry is about. That's
Right.
what true creation is about. It's about creating something that's not here yet, that will come into being, but you got to trust God for it, and you got to work with him in it. That's work. That's faith.
So you're saying you're creating your own aspiration?
I'm saying it's not our aspiration that we're creating. We're creating the aspiration that God has for us, that is becoming our desire. As we let go of our own desire, his desire becomes our desire, and that desire is actually a better plan for our life to begin with, because
Right.
he's the one who created us.
Right.
Now, would you say that since you've
Real quick, Paul Horner said, "Preach." Gator Yagi said, "Evening, fellas. Happy belated birthday, Jake."
Thank you, Gator.
Okay, continue.
I'm sorry to take over.
No,
but-
go ahead.
But since you've accepted that mindset, has your life? I'm assuming that your life has been better.
You have peace, but there's still a struggle.
Right. It's
because-
better in terms of what though? Like, because most people have an idea already in their mind of what better equals. So
money, fame.
Just
Right,
like you
right.
said, build back better.
Right,
That's something that is very
Whose version of
it's-
better?
It's subjective.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, better to you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's subjective. Like, I'm learning what's better. I'm learning as I trust in God what's better. So
that's a constant
thing.
thing.
It's built on a foundation. As I give up my own desires, I start to learn what's better. And yeah, I am getting founded and grounded on something. You know what I mean? That to me is a substance that I can hope for, believe in,
Right.
and it's true. And I'm seeing it. But what I'm saying is, for others, it's harder to see that. So it takes time to become a thing where it actually manifests in my life for others to see, so that they can even understand what better is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then people can see, oh, that thing, right? Because it's kind of like Jesus says, you are the light of the world, right? You're not going to understand what that really means until the light comes. In the darkness, you might think you're killing it in the world.
Right.
Right? But once the light shines, everything gets exposed. Right? The light shines, now things get exposed. Now you see plainly.
Right.
You see clearly. Right? So if we're in the dark is where we're afraid. But the dark is where we can bring Jesus into, and he deals with it. But if we're afraid, we don't want to face our dark places. You know what I mean? We don't want to face our fears in the dark. You don't want to face, if you're afraid of the dark, you don't want to face the dark. You get what I'm saying?
Not exactly. But no, I mean, I don't know. It's some, and bits of the explanation. It seems a little too vast for my mind.
I mean, it's simple in terms of.
I love your honesty.
It's.
I'll give candor.
A lot of times
understand.
we're talking like in a vastness, because if you think about a void, it's vast.
Right.
You know, so like the creation was created in a void. So it's vast. So it's hard to grab a hold of these things.
Right. I think that's why we always focus in on these like specific areas where we can clearly point out something that could possibly cause someone to wake up in a small way, to break
Yeah.
a little bit of a spell. Because if you can point to certain things that people can say, oh, wait a minute, I never saw that before, it can lead down to that road of
Right.
like constantly being deprogrammed in a sense.
And then saying, because the whole key to God is humbling yourself.
Right.
Basically, like, okay, I've been trying to do this thing. It's not working for me. Let me give it up to God and
Right.
allow him to show me the right way.
Because the spell is that the biggest spell is that we get brought up in a way where we have everything figured out and we know exactly what we're doing and our mission is set and we're going.
That's what principles are.
Right.
So that's what, like, you do it this way,
Right.
right? This works. It worked for me.
But what that does is it leaves no room for God.
Right. Because
So-
it's pride. It's
Right.
literally like, this worked for me. That's it. It's settled. Let's do this. You know.
So what it does is it leaves you open to all of the destruction and chaos that's out there, and it comes for you. But if you can slowly realize that a lot of those things that you've set up, a lot of those ideas and those things that you've chased are just traps and just like false versions of what freedom and what love and what truth really is, then you can start to internalize that and say, well, then what is it really? You know what I mean? And maybe that can free you from a lot of these things.
It's about your life having meaning.
Yeah.
If love is a word and it actually has meaning behind it, what does it mean? You know what I mean? All these words, like we say these words, but we put our own meaning on it. But what does it truly mean? You know, these things that we talk about.
Right.
Because words can change meaning.
They do.
They change meaning all the time. And then we become complacent in the meaning, or we become glazed over, you know, and then things don't mean anything to us anymore. And that's a scary place to be, because when something doesn't mean anything to you anymore, you have no meaning in your life. And that's a sad, sad day.
So I think that's what you're talking about. So a lot of the things that we bring up, it can change that for people. And then if you are in that place where it's like, oh, I'm not ready for this, then you can feel that fear or that anxiety or that nervousness raise up, because it's like, man, I didn't realize they was out here doing that to these kids. You know what I mean?
I don't want to see that. Or
I don't want to
maybe
see that.
It's too much for me.
Right.
But the key, I think, is, you know, in the Bible, it does say, like, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and that's the reverence, or it's the foundation of wisdom, right? So that's the reverence of God. So that's me saying, this is too much for me. I'm gonna give this to you, God. Like, you show me what's going. You give me some foundation, right? And that's me humbling myself and honoring God. That's why I said honor your mother and your father, right? Because you're honoring the foundation, what the house was built upon. Because if you don't have a foundation, the house falls apart, right? But so, like, when these people are saying build back better, on what?
Right.
Based off of what? That's the question we need to ask. So when we ask that question, you'll definitely get to the answer a lot quicker,
Right.
and you'll see what they're building it off of, and you realize that's not something I want to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it sounds good to build back better, but based off of what? What foundation are we building off of?
And that's what we're showing. It's the Great Reset.
Mm-hmm.
They want to build back in a way that brings in more of an authoritarian government
Right.
system.
Yeah.
And we've learned through history, even if it's like, well,
Fascism.
yeah, we've learned that any authoritarian government has ended up in millions of people dying. Like, that's just a fact.
We know that people want to separate fascism and communism, but there's no separation.
Right.
You
Right.
know? Communism becomes fascism.
Right. It has to.
Yeah.
There's no way to implement it without the fascism.
Exactly.
You can't implement communism, because communism literally says that you have to take what you do and give it to all of us. You know what I'm saying? And then take what we do and give it to everybody else.
Right.
How do you force people to do that? only through violence. It's the only way.
Fear, yeah.
Fear and violence. Like, there's no other way around it.
And you have no way to defend yourself. And that's another reason why they try to get rid of they burn Bibles.
Right. Yeah,
If they
absolutely.
can detach you from another source that you depend on,
Yeah.
which is God.
Isn't it crazy? They try to get rid of Donald Trump because they say that he's a fascist, but they were on board with the Great Reset.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to me. It's like this new version of anarchists are totally on board with lockdowns from the government, like authoritarianism in a weird way that we've never seen before.
Because they think they're a part of it, but
They think that somehow they're going to benefit from that.
yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, the people at the top are. So
Yeah,
You
but
know.
I'm talking about
But-
those on the ground, like burning stuff and fighting
Yeah.
people and like breaking stuff, burning Bibles, like,
well, they've been totally infiltrated. That is the dead risen.
right.
You know what I mean? Meaning like that's the Raphael.
Raphaim, yeah.
That's the
Zombies.
that's total hedonism or what you desire taking over you. That's the
Right.
fire burning in you that is uncontrollable.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you see that within people. They raise up because they don't know how to control their emotions, anymore.
Yeah.
So now they can kill people. Now they
Right.
can destroy stuff. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy.
Right.
You're seeing that literally manifest in the
But
world.
the idea that because they're being pushed the propaganda that the people they oppose are the fascists, in their minds, we have to eliminate fascism.
Yeah.
So we can just do whatever we want to them.
Yeah.
Like,
And
we're
they've been
justified in
programmed.
it.
They've been given their assignment, right?
Mhm.
And they go and carry. They're literally sleeper cells that
Right.
have been awakened.
Right.
But sleeper cells that have been awakened, they're not just an asset; they're also a liability.
Right.
So eventually, they're going to turn, and that's what happens. So, like we were talking, like the brown
shirts.
the brown shirts. What happens? They get taken out first,
Right.
Because they know they're going to become a liability. So we got to take them
The
out.
Night of Long Knives. You ever hear about that?
No.
The Night of Long Knives was after Hitler rose to power. The Nazis rose to power in Germany. The brown shirts were the guys like Antifa that were out there like causing havoc, So what they did was they rounded them all up and just stabbed them and killed them first because they know that we used your emotion and your anger towards the system as a way to implement our system.
But
But
they're
you're going to raise up against us too.
Right, because
So-
they're disobedient, unruly kids.
Right.
At heart, they've been trained up that way.
Right.
But they've just been used emotionally. But they'll turn on them and kill them.
Right.
So you have to deal with it.
Right.
And that's what a controlling system is going to do.
That's what happens. What did Pol Pot do? First thing he did, kill all the teachers, all the doctors, all the educated people, because those are the people that are a threat to your power.
Yeah. Paul
Yeah.
Horner just said Lenin called them useful idiots.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, I want to show this tweet from Nancy Pelosi that's been going around on Twitter. People went back and found it. This is from back in 2017. Right?
Yeah.
Our election was hijacked. There's no question. Congress has a duty to protect our democracy and follow the facts. So a lot of people, because revisionist history is a mug, right? A lot of people forget. I was talking to Dave about this. Like, Hillary Clinton never conceded. And they were adamant that the election was stolen
Right.
for years.
And it was. But for them.
Right.
But, I mean, this will probably come out. But
I'm just saying, like, now the story is, the narrative is, and this is the propaganda brainwashing that I'm pointing to.
Right.
The narrative is that it's impossible to do that. What are you talking about? And people are their memory spans are so short, their attention spans are so short that they completely just believe that now.
yeah, how many people on the news were saying
Yeah.
that he's an illegitimate president?
Right.
Because the
The election wasn't real.
Russia
It was
stole the
stolen.
election.
Right.
And the investigations will bear it out, and then he will be impeached.
Right, and the investigation actually did the opposite. and there is some rumor going on that I will say is that actually they knew what they were doing because it happened in 2012 with Obama.
Right.
How they stole the election, and then in 2016
in 2000, someone testified in front of Congress talking about how these voting systems were easily
Right.
hackable.
With Bush.
Right, when Bush won.
Right.
Because they were trying to prove that Bush stole it in 2000. The same systems. So this is, it's not like this is nothing new.
Right.
And it was the Democrats that were
Yeah.
investigating it at that time.
At that time,
you know?
even with this one, Elizabeth Warren criticized it. Amy Klobuchar in 2017.
Oh, in 2017, yeah.
criticized it.
And they wanted to do recounts, and then Hillary was like, "No, don't do that. Don't do that."
And why? Why?
Because them numbers will go down.
because they had already known, like some of Trump's people already knew what was going on,
Right.
and they dealt with it.
Right.
But this time, it had to be exposed,
Right.
you know. And you know, people, again, like I was saying to Kyle. Things you can't justify yourself. You have to let things play out sometimes, because eventually the truth will be exposed.
Mhm.
And you want to do it in a way where
It does the least amount of
it
damage.
does the least amount of damage, because a lot of people don't know. They're caught up in it.
Mhm.
They're caught up in it.
They're emotionally invested,
right,
in the way this goes.
And if God is a good God, why would He want people to be? It's not about "I told you so."
Right.
You know, it's not about "I was right, you were wrong."
Right.
It's about knowing the truth so that you can
Truth.
know the truth,
and
the truth will set you free.
Right.
Right. So, and it starts out with abiding in it. That's about those who abide in my word will be my disciples. That's about learning obedience.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we learn obedience through love.
Abiding, not abiding.
All right, so I sent this text out to everybody, and Moan didn't see it because he don't pay attention to my text messages. But I just wanted to point this out because this is another one of these tricks, another one of these spells that they're reaching into their bag of wizardry for. So they're breaking down, because the narrative is always that, you know, POC students don't perform as well as white students, or you know, white privilege, white supremacy is the only way you can get ahead in this country. But then there's this whole demographic of Asian students, Indian American, Chinese American, Japanese American, Korean American, that outperform whites. They outperform them. They earn higher than them. They do better in school. They do better in business. And so now they've decided that whites and Asians go together.
Wow.
And students of color are different. That way they can show the gap there.
I'm a dark Asian though, so does it count?
They still gonna lump you. It depends on how much you make.
Yeah.
If you make a certain, if you're in that lower demographic, then they're gonna say, "Come on in, POC, you're one of us." As soon as your annual income reaches above the average whites, they're gonna be like, "Get over there with them."
You're privileged.
That's like, this is facts to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But this is all orchestrated.
It's all just there's another video of Bill Gates talking in his office, and sitting on his desk is a book that says How to Lie with Statistics. It's an old book that was written a while ago that a lot of people swear by, and it literally shows you how statistics mean nothing. You can manipulate them in so many ways to say what you want to say with them. You know what I mean? So like stuff like that, of course, they're going to do that.
It's all about, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Literally about that. Like,
Yeah.
if we can make something make sense to you, then we got you.
It's like I ever send y'all the video where Andrew Schultz was arguing with Tariq Nasheed, and he was talking about like, well, how about Nigerian Americans make more than whites do, you know? And he was just like, well, that's because they let them do that because they could just send them back. You know what I mean? Like his whole argument for that was they're not black. So, you know, they're not Nigerians and people from because the African like engineers that come here, we know a lot of them that play soccer with us. Like them dudes make money, you know, and
shout out to Peace.
yeah.
Peace Ike is on.
Oh, she's watching?
Yeah, she
right as I'm talking about that. Ain't that crazy?
How do you say Ghanaian?
Ghanaian.
Ghanaian.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, our Ghanaian, and then we have Emma. He's our Cameroonian.
A Cameroonian brother. But like he was talking about like how do you equate if it's like this system of white supremacy that won't allow a person of color to make a certain amount of money, like it won't allow it. How do you account for them? And then the argument is, well, that's because they can send them back to Africa. You know, but that ties into this thing that I was just showing, because it's like anytime something comes in that doesn't fit that narrative, they have to like explain around it in a weird way. And now Asians are white, basically. That's the moral of the story. Asians are white.
But
that's why I said to you, because I said,
make any sense. Like,
Moan, you ain't one of us anymore.
You should be happy, shouldn't you? You're white now. You made it.
oh, I'm white now.
Yeah, but that's about putting things into a nice, neat box so they can.
P said, "We out here."
so they can lord over you. That's all.
Yeah.
They want to lord over you. They want to tell you this is the way it is. Shut up and sit down. I'm the expert.
Right.
You know.
What did Fauci just say? Shut up and do what you're told.
Yeah. Where is that at?
We know you enjoy your freedoms, but
I don't even remember where I put that.
you need to
Boy. Just flash that up real quick.
What is that?
That is
Well, you can take it off now.
that is
Like RG3 kissing RG3.
it's actually Lil Nas X.
Oh, great.
And it's like this thing that they're,
you take it
celebrating.
down,
You
please?
can take it down. They're celebrating it online because, it's so progressive. You know what I mean?
because they're so brave.
So brave that he's doing a visual of him making out with himself.
So again, going back to what we're talking about with culture, if you don't cultivate culture and if you don't keep the culture, then it's gonna get out of hand. It's gonna get wild on you, right?
Right.
It's gonna get wild on you.
I don't even know who Lil Nas X
So
is.
that's why you can't just
Gonna
go and
take
do whatever you
my
want.
horse to the Old Town Road.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was his name.
Yeah. But you're right. It's just like, again, back to the analogy, Kyle, we were talking about the man who keeps his land. If you don't do a good job of that, what happens? The weeds come and overtake your garden. The animals come and overtake your animals. You have to learn how to be a steward.
That's why you gotta honor your mother and your father, but fathers gotta honor their sons.
Right.
You have to take a responsibility to raise up the children. And and kids have to learn to be obedient. Children have to learn obedience. That's what the whole thing with John and the spirit of Elijah. It's about turning the fathers back to the sons and the sons back to the fathers, and it's about breakthrough, breaking the thing that has gotten in the way to cause pride between the fathers. What's wrong? What's wrong with the fathers? They're stuck in ways that don't work, right? Principles that have gotten into the foundation or into the roots, right? And mingled with it, right? So you have to put the axe to the root. You have to cut that out. That's principalities, powers. That's the thing that oppresses. The kids feel that. They feel the pressure from the fathers. They're like, that's too much pressure on me. So now I'm going to create my own thing, right? I'm going to create my own ideas, I'm going to rebel. And that you're just creating new principles and in a new culture, right? But that's even worse a lot of times, because now you have nothing, you have no foundation to work off of.
Right.
Now you're just freaky deaky. That's the wild.
That's wild. Yeah, that's the wild. And it just becomes a free for all. You know what I mean? You ever see a household where the parents have no control over their kids? You know,
The kids are punching them.
It's chaos. Yeah.
Everybody want to go there because that's the cool house.
Right.
But
can do what you want.
eventually you see.
Right.
Well, when they grow up, not when they're kids. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think any kids like looking at that like, oh, he's beating up his. That's not cool. But when they're older,
Right.
You know what I mean? And the parents they're like, yeah, my mom lets me smoke with them. And they're like, oh, you're cool.
Oh, you're the cool mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What else? What else do we got? Anybody else got anything they want to touch on before we wrap it up?
No, not really. Nothing important. I talked about canceling Baby Yoda earlier.
Oh yeah.
That's not really. It's not real life.
But why are they canceling it again?
I like to know this.
You notice?
No, I'd like to know more about this.
Because he's eating babies.
Well, Not
But-
babies, but
but-
eggs.
Yeah, so
Eggs of babies.
so
that only matters when it matters.
Right.
you
I
know
was
the
just
man-
about to say, but that's not a life.
Yeah.
The TV show, right?
It's not.
Yeah, the show on
thought-
Disney Plus, The Mandalorian.
I know of it. I haven't seen it yet.
So when a fictional character, alien monster, eats fictional eggs from an
Right.
alien person, that
They
is
get-
outrageous.
But when you have an abortion, that's
Yeah,
okay.
I can't keep up.
Phil Cantillo put this up.
Oh, that's a TikTok.
Yeah.
He took the eggs away from Baby Yoda. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. So, is it just vegans that are pissed off about this, or is it just?
I don't know.
I have
There's
no
there's
idea.
some you probably can find some tweets that
Listen, man, I
you
could
know.
go into the Mandalorian and speak about some God stuff. I had a dream about it, so
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. But we're not going to go into that 'cause that's a whole nother. That's another topic for another
Whole
time.
nother episode.
That'll be about another 2 hours.
I heard Michigan refused to certify
Certify.
the election results.
Wayne County Board of
Seems like there's some stuff going down. I don't know.
Yeah.
They did use Dominion.
What is that video? That's
Yeah. Let's see that.
Oh, I saw that.
Let's check it out.
Pull that up.
You got sound?
Yeah. I got sound. Oh, let me see. Yeah, it should be sound on. Oh, I think maybe there's no sound on this clip.
He's trying to keep it
He's like,
blue.
no.
That's Freddie.
Oh, pull up that map.
Oh yeah.
Come back. That's when the rescue. No, that's from Titanic. When the rescue boat was going away, and she's like,
I'll never
Oh,
let go,
that is
Jack.
funny. That's funny. P
and then she
said.
got to the whistle.
Rachel said, "Baby Yoda pissed off Bezos." That's the only explanation.
Yeah.
That is funny. I just saw that. Sometimes I love scrolling Twitter because it's just like
Just
hilarious
stupid
stuff.
stuff.
What were you saying? You wanted to-
No, that map.
Everylegalvote.com.
Remember?
Oh, everylegalvote.com. Yep.
Yeah, I thought that map was kind of cool. Everylegalvote.com.
Right.
I thought it was every vote should count.
Count
Okay.
every John.
So
Count
this
every
map
John.
is interesting because it shows this is like the current status of what. Oh, you got it up, or is this me? Oh, okay. This is the current status of what is being contested and what, you know. And this is the way the news is calling everything.
Right.
It says with voter fraud.
Yeah.
And then without voter fraud, look at all them states, they just flip.
But they always say there's no facts to verify.
Without evidence.
Without evidence. That's
Without evidence.
That's the terminology.
But the funny thing is, like, they only use that when it's something they don't want to report on.
Right.
Because anything they want to report on, and this is another thing for a lot of you people that just like think the news is just so honest with you. All the things they want to report on, they don't ever need evidence. They just need to hear heard someone say something that maybe something happened.
Right.
And then
That's anonymous.
They'll report on it for
Yeah.
That's
weeks.
the anonymous source.
You know?
If it fulfills what they want to push.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that goes for all of the news organizations. Like not even just CNN, MSNBC, but
Yeah.
Fox News does the same thing.
Yep.
You know, they all are pushing agendas, and they will frame things in a way to control your thinking on that topic.
Right. And so I think we leave it at this. We pray not for our own desires to happen,
Right.
but for the truth to be exposed.
Right.
So that we can see the light, so that the world can see the light.
Right.
That's what it's about. Because
Whatever
that's
that
the
truth
best thing
may
for
be.
us anyway.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Like, dude, if the truth comes out, right, and it comes out that Trump is some kind of like deviant, crazy psychopath, like, I want to know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would be the first one to be like, yo, let's that dude needs to go to jail. You know what I mean?
All
Like,
signs are not pointing to that, but you never know.
I'm just saying, like,
No,
there
no,
is
I know what
nothing.
you're saying.
There is nothing in me that's like, I just want what I want to happen to happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's just about, I want the truth to be out there. I'm tired of being lied to. I'm tired of like just everyone being in this place where it's like, well, my team says this is true and my team says that is true. I just want to know what the truth is, and that's it.
I'm quoting Jay-Z. I think it's Jay-Z. Can't be life.
This can't be life. Yeah, that is
That's
Jay-Z.
one thing I'll quote from him. But because this
Gotta
can't-
be
this
more.
there's
This
got to be
can't
more.
be us. Can't be love.
And that's that's something he said that maybe this can't be life. You know?
Right.
It's got to be more.
I mean, it's not no H to the Izzo.
None of that. But.
No, I'm saying, you know, that was real bars. Hold up, let's look at this meme. 2020, the year people are more likely to go to jail for doing this than for doing this. Yo,
Yes.
ain't
is
that
perfect.
crazy?
That's
That's
facts.
perfect.
Then
Yo.
for doing that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's facts.
yeah. People are more likely to go to jail for doing this.
But
than
did you
doing
see
this.
Florida though?
Government overreach.
The-
Huh? Oh, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're-
He's,
well,
he's
he
proposing.
Yeah,
he's
Ron
proposing
DeSantis
that you
introduced
can
the
shoot.
Dude,
looters.
even that though seems like you can't be okay with that though. If you're saying that government overreach is something that you're worried about, you can't be okay with that either, because it's like they could turn that on you. You think that that's to go against a certain organization that you're against,
Yeah.
but it could be you. You know what I'm saying? Out there protesting because you think somebody's doing something you don't like, and they can shoot you too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that one was saying
Looting and
Right.
rioting.
Not-
But
not
what
just
determines who says what looting is? Like today, looting is nothing. Like today, they can say you could be burning down this building and it's just peaceful protesting. But tomorrow, just standing in the street could be looting. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever
Right, if you
narrative
leave
they
it up
want.
there.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's whatever narrative they want to spin. So when you say, "Okay, I agree with this," you're agreeing for it for you too, and whichever way that
What's the truth, yeah.
they deem fit. That's the same thing that we're talking to him about. Like once you start giving into like that desire to want to see people, you know, you want to see vengeance for those people. Like you invite that for yourself.
I mean, there is a thing that you got to uphold the law.
What's
Yeah,
You know,
but so they should go to jail. But to say like we could just be out there shooting people
Yeah,
that
that's
are
a whole
looting,
nother.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, that's-
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's extreme.
You the jury.
That ain't
judge,
getting,
the
that ain't
jury.
getting passed.
Nah.
You're the judge, the jury, and the executioner. You know what I mean? That's not-
It was funny.
Paul Horner said that turkey ain't vegan. That's why. Yeah, the Great Reset. You have to only have tofurkey on Thanksgiving table. I saw another meme too, talking about how like let's see if I can find it. I think I said it to myself.
I just got my.
Don't pull up my text messages, John. Oh yeah, this is it right here.
Is it frozen on your screen?
No.
That's normal people shopping
Normal
today.
people today. Normal
And
people on the
conspiracy
top.
theorists.
The bottom, conspiracy theorists.
That's it. That is it. The twist is on.
Like this is the inversion. You ever hear people talk about the inversion?
Yeah.
Where it's like literally reality gets inverted. Where it's like
But that's the point. Like,
right.
Again, that's the Raphaim rising. That's the
Right.
dead rising. Like the thing that should stay dead is trying to rise, and the thing that is dead needs to rise.
Right. Right. Cool. All right, everybody. Kyle, you got any more questions?
No.
Kyle's like,
John.
Kyle's like, I bit off way more than I can chew on that one. And I have to watch.
I don't think I want to ask you guys another question ever again.
Why?
You should want to get
That was
broken
actually
off
good.
you.
I'm glad you asked that question.
I'm glad I asked the
was
question
good.
too. What I wasn't prepared for was the 15-minute answer.
Well, you asked a very
It gave us content.
and you asked a very like
Vague
broad
question. Yeah.
broad question. Like there was no simple answer to that. You asked if we're in fear all the time. Like you think
Like,
what's
that's,
the like?
that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
There's not a yes or no.
no.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Because if we say no, then what does that leave you with? You still don't understand us at the end of the day. You're
Wait
like,
a minute, Kyle. Did you think any question you were going to ask would be a yes or no to them? These guys always have a long explanation.
I should have known better. No, but it was very informative. I still don't quite understand all of it, but I definitely heard words.
So how is it informative then?
Great.
I learned. I don't know. I'm done.
He learned that after this, he's going to get to talk.
oh yeah, yeah.
See, you're not hearing me, my brother. Where
You're
James at?
hearing me, but you're not hearing me.
What are you looking at?
I was just looking at Twitter. My bad.
Oh.
Did y'all see the Lori Lightfoot?
I was going to bring her up.
The Lori Lightfoot video.
Dumb explanation.
No, the video where she wakes up. See, I can
Oh, that's another thing.
It's the propaganda that these people are constantly pushing on everyone.
I don't even know who Lori Lightfoot is.
Chicago mayor.
The mayor of Chicago.
Oh,
The one that got caught getting her hair done after she told everybody not to be out
Not
getting
to
their hair
get-
done.
Right.
And then
After
when
she did a campaign,
Yeah.
marketing campaign,
right, which is
Yeah,
the same
same.
thing this is.
Did she say I am a public figure or something like that?
Yeah.
She's in the public eye.
For thee,
Oh, here it is.
and not for me.
Pull this up. Take it back from the beginning. Look at all the wizardry in this.
Thank God.
it's a globe.
Science is back, baby. And the earth is round, not flat. Washing your hands does work. Social distancing does matter. And wearing a face covering does help protect all of us.
Because the lady.
I
wearing
do
the
love
robe-
science.
Because you're in a white coat, so that means you know everything.
Around
Experts.
with the stethoscope.
yeah,
on.
right. It's like,
The
yo.
huge Dell
Yeah,
laptop that's so thick.
Windows 90 on it.
Windows 90.
90, bro. Yeah, before Windows even
Existed.
Yeah, existed. Yeah, but it was just funny. I saw that. I was just like, "Are you serious?"
Was that a shot at Trump?
Of course it is. Of course it is. But it's just,
I had to ask because it's stupid.
yeah, it's ridiculous. But it's the idea that, like, you know, no one's listening to science.
Yeah. And,
It was
and it's that prideful little mocking thing that's going on right now,
Yeah.
which kind of is what we're talking about, Kyle. That went over your head.
From a production value, it's
Horrible.
terrible.
You would think
we could have shot something better
right.
with these.
You would think that they're with the money that they waste,
Yeah, right.
they could have did something better.
The same thing I said about Trudeau's.
Yeah.
It was edited like it was a joke.
Yeah.
Whether they believed that it was to be a joke or not, it just looked comedic and dumb.
Like it was
Yeah.
a parody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a parody of itself.
Yeah, definitely. But I thought that was funny. I saw that the other day. And people were like, someone was like, great, getting health advice from two of the most unhealthy looking people I've ever seen. Because when you watch them, they both look like super unhealthy. Like, tell us all about it, how healthy you
Right.
are.
Lightfoot.
But,
Common
Okay.
sense. Wash your hands.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that social distancing, they're talking about how we'll be social distanced and shut down all the way until the second to third quarter of next year.
Oh. really?
Possibly we'll be able to celebrate Thanksgiving next year.
Without the mask? Because, now the rule is you got to wear your mask inside at Thanksgiving.
Oh.
In your
inside.
house. You got to.
But also it's suggested to do it outside.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do
What
Thanksgiving
about
outside.
the restaurants? You don't have to wear the mask.
Right.
Well,
Once
well,
you sit
now-
down.
once you sit down,
Once you
yeah.
sit down. So once we sit down at Thanksgiving, we're good.
Well, I think they're banning indoor eating now, in not in Jersey.
oh yeah, in Philly. they
I think in
all shut
PA,
down.
Philly.
In San Diego.
Of course.
Yeah, that dude.
Damn, no Saquon.
He just got a ruling against him too.
Who?
Supreme Court ruled that
Gavin Newsom?
Yeah, his orders were unconstitutional.
That was another one that just got caught going to a his
a
friend's
party or something.
50th birthday party.
Yeah, he went to a party.
Did you guys hear? I just thought of something. Carl Lentz.
No, what's that?
What's that? He used to be the pastor. You know, the cool like pastor of Hillsong, New York.
Oh,
The church in the
I
wild.
heard,
or
I heard of
something.
that church, but I didn't know
Yeah.
the pastor's name.
He was like, the pastor was friends with Justin Bieber and all.
Oh,
that
that dude. Yeah. Remember I brought him up before.
Yeah,
Talked about the
that-
picture
the
he took with
picture.
Bieber.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. He got fired.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why?
From the church?
from the church. Yes.
Oh dang.
I wonder why.
For not wearing underwear.
Anyone who takes a picture with half of their penis showing out of their shorts.
I mean, there was some stuff they didn't go into it, but he did comment on there were infidelities going on with him. So
See if we can find that picture.
I don't want to say it.
Find the penis picture.
He doesn't. It's not really.
No.
It's like the ending of Teen Wolf.
There we go. That's him and the Biebs. Just two guys hanging out. It's
Just not wearing no underwear.
It's just normal. This is normal, guys. Nothing to see here. So he ended up
And he's a pastor.
so he ended up taking
taking the L.
the L. Huh?
Yeah.
Didn't see that.
And not to like, I'm not trying to come at somebody like they're, come at their neck or anything, but we talked about that before, and this whatever goes, like we just gotta love people,
Yeah.
and there's no standard that people that's being upheld in some of these churches.
Yeah.
And so what happens is, because he even in his statement he was talking about like, I put too much on myself, and talking about the stuff that goes on. I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but basically he was kind of explaining why he fell. And yeah, we need leaders that can lead because they let God lead.
Right.
And that's what it's about. And then you see it in a different way. And we're not, from what I've seen from him, he was kind of like trying to be liked, or I'm trying to think of the right word. Trying to like, be liked by the world. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a cool
Appease the
guy.
world.
Christianity is cool.
Right. Right.
Trying to
We can appeal to.
appeal.
Yeah.
There you go. Appeal
Right.
to the masses, and if you're gonna win people over in that way, it's never gonna stick, because the guy Jesus came to divide, not to attach yourself to things that you shouldn't be attached to. So that's what I kind of saw with him.
Saw something else. Georgia officials are saying that they will only certify election night numbers, even if the numbers do not match. So, looks like they're not going to be certifying all the stuff that came in afterwards. Like all these things that.
You see
The
now,
overnighters.
they're encouraging people to move to Georgia. 'Cause
I
as
saw
long as
that.
you're
I saw
registered
that.
30 days before the election, you
Right.
can vote in it.
Right,
Yeah.
because they're about to have that runoff election.
Yeah, the two
So they're
seats for
encouraging
Senate.
people to move to Georgia just to influence
Andrew
the election.
Yang.
Andrew Yang said that.
Was one of them.
Your peoples. You know what I mean? All y'all
Ain't my-
whites.
ain't my
y'all
people.
whites is out here messing shit up. Y'all whites, man.
I got drafted, didn't I? Dan says it all the time.
Yeah. All y'all whites, man. It's white privilege. We just can't get enough of it.
I'm on
out
your
here.
team.
You know,
John,
Kyle?
what about John?
Kyle's like, I ain't on your team.
I'm Hispanic.
Kyle's getting drafted in to the POCs. He about to have a little black baby. He's getting drafted in.
about to have a black baby. You know something? I don't.
he's in love.
He's getting drafted into the.
You
the
said you had a
POC.
story about that too.
Oh, that was so long ago.
Well, he remembers.
It was. I don't even know what we were talking about. It was the. You had said something about cultural acceptance from in-laws or potential in-laws or something like that.
Yeah. We talked about like families not accepting.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about the Asian Americans, and I said unless you're black.
Yeah.
He was saying
Oh.
the Syrian. You said Syrians or something. Whatever. Armenians. Whatever.
I thought this was more of a story for off the show, but I mean,
Oh, my bad.
No, I mean it's fine. It's like the woman I'm dating now. She's Liberian.
Oh.
Yeah, and
I thought she was black, bro.
No, she's Liberian. Well, she
Well, she's African black.
yeah. I mean, well, her family is Liberian. I think she was born here. So
Okay.
So, but
My first girlfriend was Liberian.
oh yeah.
Remember Madia?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
thought
think
she was just
I don't.
black.
I don't.
Her family's from Liberia. But go ahead.
No, I don't think that she's ever dated a white guy before.
Uh-oh.
And so apparently, how's your white guy is now like the thematic question from her mother, who's I don't know how she feels about the whole thing, because traditionally I think she would prefer that she date another Liberian.
Right.
So
I wouldn't even worry about it, bro.
Dude, I would think you would be used to that by now.
right?
I mean,
that is a running theme, especially for black females. Like if they're dating a white man, it's always brought up constantly.
to be honest with you, I've experienced that more often when it comes to dating a woman who has an African family.
Okay.
You know, it's more so
Because there's more of a cultural
Culture.
Yeah.
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 And I think, and I don't know if this is what the people say. This is what one group of Africans say about Nigerians. That my last couple of women who I dated who were African were Nigerians, and there's this, and I kind of felt this thing where I didn't live up to a financial standard that they were holding for their family.
Yeah, they definitely have, like, in a lot of those cultures, like they still use dowries and stuff. Like when you get married, like you have to give gifts to the mother-in-law, like, you know, especially if they're still like traditionally from those countries, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where she was looking at, like because most, like, a lot of them, they want their daughters to be with doctors and stuff like that.
Well, Liberia is different from what I understand.
Right.
Yeah. Liberians don't particularly like Nigerians. As far as from the people I work with at my job, there's groupings of both. They have different opinions from each other about each other. I don't want to get into that little nugget.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know.
No.
There's always a
Because it's
I'm
coming,
better than you type of thing.
It's coming from a more uninformed. I mean, the whole thing about me is so uninformed, but that's just my MO, I guess.
Yeah, you don't want to be informed because then you'll be afraid.
Let's
all the
not
time.
make this about me.
You'll be afraid all the
Then
time.
you just got to take
like
responsibility.
us, right? Right?
How did I do this? This is not where I wanted it to go.
You got to be responsible for your words.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Come on, Kyle. You're about to be a husband, father.
Not yet.
You're 30 years old now.
I'm 28.
You're coming
Just
in on
added-
your 30s now.
just adding-
No, but it's funny because like when I think of Kyle, and we're always messing with him, but when we were his age, like we weren't, like, it's a process, and I think a lot of people at his age range don't see things as seriously as they should.
Yeah.
Because life is more about like just pop culture and like what's cool and, you know, females, and especially if you're a man, and like that whole life, you know, that encompasses everything that you're about at that age and younger, you know.
Yeah.
I think once you hit 30, then you'll get us a lot more.
I only got 14 months left to go.
Yeah, there you go.
My whole viewpoint will change
Or
in that amount
if
of
you
time.
if you like really own some shit and like, or have a kid or something, like, then things become way more real to you at that point.
Right.
Like you have
married.
Yeah, get
Start
married.
own some shit.
You get a grasp of like,
What do you mean when you say become more real? What do you mean?
I mean, what matters.
Things become
Yeah.
more real, right?
what matters becomes more real, and all of the
You look
other
at
things
things totally different.
start to like become so less relevant to you.
I had this conversation with a friend of mine from high school on my way here today. And I was telling him, you know, how this more recent relationship has kind of changed my perception in just the short amount of time that I've experienced. Do I even want to do this right now?
Yeah, do this.
Okay. In the short amount of time that it's existed.
Right.
In jest, she sent me a text message saying, posting, it was a housing listing. Like, we should get this house. I mean,
Right.
we were just joking. There's no way at this moment that we're going to get a house.
Joking, but not joking. Yeah.
But what it showed to me was that if we did want to do this, could I right now accomplish this goal? No.
Mm.
And it was kind of a catalyst that propelled me into deciding that I want to go to nursing school.
Mm.
So that's my goal. That's my goal now.
You and John, y'all both in the same.
So in a
John wants to go to nursing.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
But
this is news to me.
the friend I was talking to on the way over
I wasn't
here.
even surprised.
The friend I was talking to on the way over here was someone who I went to high school with. We sang in singing groups together, and in the funk band that I had started then. And he knew that the dreams and aspirations I had for myself. And it was more so, I was telling him, was like, I've come to the realization that the fame that I wanted, especially when I was working with Otis, probably not going to happen in the way that I wanted it to. And how my life was going prior to the whole COVID thing and things shutting down, I was doing okay doing my job, and then also performing. I was doing something that I liked,
Right.
you know, and living comfortably as long as I was doing those gigs. And if that's all I could do while being happy with a family in the future, if I can get my shit together and get, you know, and have my, you know, my job that helps, you know, pay the bills, and then also enjoy myself performing and still doing the things I love to do while being around people that I love and care for me, and you know, and while caring and loving for other folks, I think, and I really do feel now that I'm in that place of like, that's good. That's all I could really want. I don't know if I think I would, all those things that I feel like I want now would all be hindered if money and fame and all that other crap that goes with it were to come to fruition.
I mean, I think family is a start. You know what I mean? Like, thinking about these things, that's a start. You know, that's a start in the right path. I think, you know, thinking about being famous is actually the crazy thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when
Right.
you really think about
That's
it.
actually the trap that we
Yeah.
were talking about
Right.
earlier. You know.
So even thinking in that way, like, I think that's more wise
Yes.
to think that way than.
Yeah. But does that put you in fear?
No.
Okay. There you
No,
go.
I mean it puts me. I think it puts me in a sense of more realistic goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in a place of where the realistic goals meets happiness
Right. And fulfillment in a way that
I didn't perceive before.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think, and from experience, I pretty much know that the other thing won't fulfill you like the way you think it would. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
I don't think hanging around some folks doing all the entertainment reporting.
Mm-hmm.
You hear all these stories how it doesn't fulfill the people who reach it.
Exactly. That's what was my point earlier. You know.
While all these people are like hooked on drugs and consistently going to rehab, and broken marriages and families that don't work and stuff like that.
Right.
That doesn't seem appealing to me.
Kids that hate them.
Right.
You know.
It's a lot of destruction.
Mm-hmm. So that's why you see us in the place that we are, and where it's like, all right, we know that this is what we're supposed to be doing. So the only way we can honestly move in that without becoming it becoming a hindrance is to let God lead us in it, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's the only way it's gonna work out the way it's supposed to. You know.
I have a lot of explaining to do later.
You'll be fine. No one's watching this. Not yet, anyway.
Right. Yep. For the future.
My phone died. All right, guys. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. Anything else?
Good.
I think that was good. Anybody who is still watching, we appreciate you. Thanks to Kyle for helping out tonight and having some good questions for us. John, thanks for staying, for coming through, man. We appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Anybody who wants to become a member and support what we're doing, if you think this matters, if you think like these conversations are important, you can go to our Patreon and you can sign up and subscribe to be a member. Anything that we get is going to help just make this better and continue to help us grow in what we're doing. If you want to get merch and hear the new music that we got coming out, you can go to our website, Jatan.com. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and on Facebook. Make sure you share, hit the like button, and hit the follow on our page, because I think if you hit the follow and the like on our page, then you get the more notifications when we go live. I think that's how it works. And on YouTube, you got to hit the bell to make sure you know when we go live. But other than that, I think we had a good conversation, man. This was fun. Mm-hmm. See you guys next week, and we're out of here.
Young lion, go live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah. Go